What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the TCG Empire YouTube channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at what to buy Wednesday, and if you're not sure what to buy Wednesday is, this is where we take a look at the deck of the week and we just figure out some prices for the cards as well as look at some other cards within the format that may have been doing well. Now this week we are taking a look at Edward Newgate as a whole. We're going to take a look at some cards from the deck. Now, to start things off, I do want to say real quick, this is not for holding purposes. This is not for buying and holding cards for a profit for the years to come. This is simply for meta knowledge and for people who are wanting to buy cards in order to play them. So the first card that we're going to talk about is the Edward Newgate Alternate Art Leader. Now, as we can see from the graph that is brought up right now, the Edward Newgate Alternate Art Leader is about $125 for near mint if you're wanting to buy a copy. Now, just remember though that leaders do the same thing as the regular arts, but if you're wanting to go the shiny route, it's still playable in OP3 even without Moby, so get it while you can before it goes back up. The next card that I do want to talk about is the Edward Newgate SR, and this is around the $9 mark as we can see from the graph, and they've been here for a while now, even with some success. So if you're wanting to get a playset of the Edward Newgate, get them now so that you're prepared for OP3. Even if the Whitebeard list doesn't run them, they're still a good card to have for a red engine in general. The next card that we're going to be talking about is the Ace. Now when it comes to Ace is at the $4 mark, and it is a very good price to pay. Now, if you're wanting to get a playset of them, you're looking to spend somewhere between $16 and $17, just in the aspect of if you are wanting to, buy a card that has a good ability. It's never bad. I would definitely recommend getting them now. It does get the stamp of approval, as I will say it. The next card that we're going to talk about is the Red Blocker Marco. Now this is around the 80 cent to $1 mark. It goes between 50 cents and $1, but I'm going to say 80 cents just for good measure. This is a good purchase to get as an OP3. There's actually some Zoro lists that can play Marco, as well as some other decks. And plus the way that the card is designed, you can pitch one card to block an attack and pick it back up and put it back onto the board. So if you're looking to spend maybe about $4 with shipping for a playset, it's never a bad idea. I would highly suggest getting this card now. And the last card that I want to talk about when it comes to the overall deck, as far as Whitebeard goes, we're going to talk about the Red Rush Luffy. Now, the Red Rush Luffy is around the $5 to $6 range, and it's still at a low price considering it's a good play within the Strawbeard engine, and it's also a starter deck exclusive card. Now, it being at this price, it is a good buy, and I don't really see them going much higher or lower, so as of right now, with these prices, they're very fair, especially with a month ago, they were up to the $11 to $12 range, so it's definitely good. Now, we've looked at some red cards, but now we're going to look at some green and red cards from Law, just because in the 4 Treasure Cups the past weekends, it's won 3 events, so we're going to take a look at 2 of the main cards from Law. The first card I want to talk about is the Red Zoro. Now, this card has been breaking through its ceilings and breaking through its floors, as we can see in the graph, and finally it has started to go back down. So Zoro has started to go back down despite seeing a lot of success in tournaments throughout the previous week, and although a few weeks ago it had gone back down to $23 mark, it's gonna be at the lowest that it'll probably be now. Despite this though, there is a chance for it to go back up, so if you're wanting to pick up a playset now, it'd probably be the best time to do so, because as we've seen in the past 3 to 4 weeks, it hasn't touched the low 20s. It actually almost went to $30, so I would definitely recommend getting them. Now, as for green, I would recommend getting the Law blockers right now, as they are $13.50. It does have the same effect as Zoro, where it finally went through the floor and bounced off the ceiling that it surpassed, and so Law is back down to the, I want to say $13 to $14 range right now, and just a week ago it was almost $18, so now is a good time to definitely pick up a playset if you're wanting to play anything related to green. Now, finally, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room from last week, the Event Pack 1 promo Bart. Now, Bart had some success within tournaments that it was ran, but before the weekend ended last week, it climbed all the way up to almost $60 for a single copy. Now, as for this card, there is only one thing I would say: do not buy them right now. A few days ago, it actually hit its first ceiling of $58, where it bounced back down to the $55 range. So it seems as though it's going to keep going down. And it may take some time. If you're wanting to buy them now, by all means do so. This is just a recommendation when it comes to buying them. But the only thing to think about, though, is that with Event Pack 2 cards coming out soon, you won't be able to get the Barts anymore, so they may drop. They may drop, but it'll probably be to the low 40s or the high 30s at most. It's a good card, but it's not worth it to spend, you know, $240 to $250 for a playset, when a week ago it was in the $100 range for a playset. So that's overall for the single cards. The next thing I want to talk about is the Whitebeard list that we piloted this week. Now, I did all the math, and as for Whitebeard, if you're wanting to play it card for card, the same list that we played this week, you're looking to spend somewhere between $125 to $150, depending on the list and how many, you know, stores you need to buy from. So there's going to be a big change in shipping and things like that if you're having to buy from multiple stores. But overall, I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy it, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.